Living with lupus can feel like you're fighting an invisible battle every single day. It's a battle fought on two fronts, against the physical symptoms that wreak havoc on your body and the emotional turmoil that silently chips away at your spirit. We talk about the fatigue, the joint pain, the skin rashes, the visible signs of this chronic illness. But what about the invisible wounds? The loneliness, the isolation, the feeling of being misunderstood. These are the silent struggles of lupus that rarely get the attention they deserve. Let's be real and not sugarcoat this any longer. If you resonate with these feelings, I want you to know one thing: you are not alone. This video is dedicated to every warrior battling lupus and the emotional weight that comes with it. It's a safe space to acknowledge the difficult emotions, to validate your experiences, and to find solace in knowing that others truly understand. We're going to dive deep into the heart of what it means to live with this invisible illness. We'll explore the reasons behind the loneliness, the isolation, and the feeling of being misunderstood. This is a journey of resilience, of finding your voice, and building a community of support. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the one that often gets ignored: the emotional burden of living with lupus. It's easy to focus on the physical symptoms, the ones that demand attention and medical intervention. But what about the emotional toll? The days you wake up feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, even before you get out of bed. Don't shove them down or try to pretend they don't exist. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, even angry. Lupus is a roller coaster, and some days the ride is rougher than others. Allow yourself to grieve the life you thought you'd have, the plans that got derailed, the dreams that had to be put on hold. One of the most isolating aspects of lupus is the lack of understanding from those who haven't experienced it firsthand. It's an invisible illness, meaning its symptoms aren't always outwardly visible. This can lead to well-meaning but hurtful comments like, "You don't look sick," or "Are you feeling better today?" Imagine trying to explain the sensation of your own immune system attacking your body, the way your joints scream in protest with every movement, the crushing fatigue that makes even the simplest tasks feel insurmountable. This lack of understanding can create a chasm between you and your loved ones, leaving you feeling isolated and alone. It's crucial to remember that the misunderstandings, the dismissals, the lack of empathy, they're not about you. They stem from a lack of awareness and understanding about lupus itself. People may struggle to comprehend something they can't see or haven't personally experienced. And while this doesn't excuse hurtful comments or behavior, it can help to reframe the situation. It's not that your loved ones don't care, they simply may not know how to care for you in a way that feels supportive. This is where education and communication become vital. Your feelings are valid, your experiences are real, and you are not alone in this journey. When you're grappling with the emotional turmoil of a chronic illness like lupus, it's easy to feel like you're the only one fighting this invisible battle. But let me assure you, you are far from alone. According to the Lupus Foundation of America, an estimated 1.5 million Americans are currently living with lupus. That's a staggering number, a silent army of warriors facing each day with courage and resilience. And while the physical symptoms can be debilitating, the emotional toll is often the heaviest burden to bear. These statistics paint a stark picture of the emotional landscape experienced by so many living with lupus. It's a reality of feeling isolated, of having your pain minimized, of struggling to find the words to explain the invisible forces wreaking havoc within your body. But these numbers also offer a glimmer of hope. They remind us that we're part of something much bigger than ourselves, a community bound by shared experiences, challenges, and triumphs. These statistics aren't meant to alarm you, but rather to validate your experiences and provide a sense of solidarity. If you're struggling with feelings of loneliness, isolation, or depression, please know that you're not alone. In the next section, we'll explore practical strategies for coping with these difficult emotions, from finding your tribe to communicating your needs effectively. I remember making plans weeks in advance, my heart soaring with the anticipation of spending quality time with a dear friend. The day arrived, and as I excitedly got ready, a familiar wave of exhaustion washed over me. It started subtly, like a whisper in the back of my mind, but soon escalated into a roar, drowning out my anticipation with the harsh reality of my lupus. My joints ached with a deep, throbbing pain, each movement a monumental effort. The fatigue felt like a heavy cloak draped over my body, stealing my energy and leaving me feeling utterly drained. With a heavy heart, I messaged my friend, explaining that my lupus had flared and I needed to cancel our plans. My friend's response, though well-intentioned, cut deeper than I expected. "Oh no, not again! You were feeling fine yesterday, you always cancel. Why even make plans if you're just going to flake?" The words hung in the air, creating an invisible wall between us. A wall built from misunderstanding and the frustration of an illness that couldn't be seen. The invisible wall grew taller, casting a shadow of loneliness over my already weary heart. "You're always canceling." These words, though spoken in haste and frustration, echoed a sentiment I had encountered countless times before. It was a phrase that encapsulated the invisible burden of living with lupus, the constant need to adjust, to cancel, to disappoint. It chipped away at my sense of self, making me question my reliability, my ability to be a good friend, a good partner, a good daughter. It's a lonely existence, navigating a world that often struggles to comprehend the invisible challenges you face. This experience, though painful, wasn't an isolated incident. It was one of many, each one a small cut that, over time, chipped away at my resilience. The cumulative impact of these seemingly insignificant moments, the dismissed pain, the lack of understanding, the constant need to explain and defend, created a deep sense of loneliness and isolation. Living with lupus means learning to navigate a world that doesn't always see your pain, a world that struggles to understand the invisible battles you fight daily. Living with lupus is like navigating a stormy sea. Some days, the waters are calm, the sun peeks through the clouds, and you can almost forget the turbulent depths beneath the surface. But then, without warning, the storm returns, bringing with it a deluge of physical and emotional challenges. The fatigue hits like a rogue wave, the joint pain anchors you down like a dragging anchor, and the isolation closes in like a thick fog, obscuring your vision and leaving you feeling lost at sea. It's during these stormy periods that taking care of your emotional well-being becomes paramount. Just as you meticulously manage your medications and treatment plan, it's essential to prioritize your mental health. This means giving yourself permission to feel your emotions fully, without judgment or self-recrimination. Allow yourself to grieve the losses, both big and small, that come with living with a chronic illness. Section 2. Finding your tribe. The power of shared experiences. One of the most powerful antidotes to the isolation of living with lupus is finding your tribe, a community of people who truly understand what you're going through. These are the fellow warriors who get it, who don't bat an eye when you cancel plans last minute because of a flare, who listen without judgment when you need to vent about the latest insensitive comment from a well-meaning but clueless acquaintance. Connecting with others who share similar experiences can be incredibly validating and empowering. Support groups, whether online or in person, can provide a safe and supportive space to share your experiences, exchange coping mechanisms, and find comfort in knowing that you're not alone in your struggles. Section 3. Communicating your needs. Bridging the gap of understanding. While finding your tribe is essential, it's equally important to communicate your needs to those closest to you, your family, friends, and significant others. These are the people who form your inner circle, the ones you rely on for love, support, and understanding. However, even the most well-intentioned loved ones may struggle to fully grasp the invisible challenges of living with lupus. This is where clear, open, and honest communication becomes crucial. It's about having those sometimes difficult conversations, explaining how lupus affects you physically and emotionally, and setting healthy boundaries to protect your energy and well-being. The more they understand about lupus, the better equipped they'll be to provide you with the support you need. Educating your loved ones about lupus is not a one-time conversation. It's an ongoing process. It's about patiently explaining the same things multiple times, finding new ways to describe your symptoms, and gently correcting misconceptions. It's about meeting them where they are in their understanding and guiding them towards a place of greater empathy and support. Sharing reputable resources is a great place to start. The Lupus Foundation of America website, for instance, offers a wealth of information about the disease, its symptoms, and treatment options. You can also share videos like this one, which aim to raise awareness and foster understanding of the lived experiences of those with lupus. Inviting your loved ones to attend a doctor's appointment with you can also be incredibly eye-opening for them. Hearing directly from a healthcare professional about the complexities of lupus, the unpredictable nature of flares, and the impact on your daily life can provide a level of clarity and understanding that conversations at home might not achieve. Sometimes the most challenging aspect of educating others about lupus is finding the right words to describe an illness that often feels invisible to the outside world. How do you explain the feeling of your own immune system attacking your body, the exhaustion that seeps into your bones, or the pain that flares with the unpredictability of a summer storm? One effective strategy is to use analogies and metaphors that resonate with your loved one's own experiences. For example, you could describe lupus fatigue as feeling like you've run a marathon every day, even if you haven't left the house. You could compare the joint pain to the throbbing ache of a severe flu, but one that lingers for days, weeks, or even months on end. Another approach is to connect lupus to something your loved ones are familiar with. If they're tech-savvy, you might compare your body to a phone that never fully charges, no matter how long you leave it plugged in. Or, you could relate it to a car with a faulty engine that constantly breaks down, requiring frequent trips to the mechanic, your doctor, for repairs. Finding creative and relatable ways to explain lupus can help bridge the gap of understanding and foster greater empathy and support from those you love. Remember, you are the expert on your own body and your own experiences. Don't be afraid to speak up, to educate, and to advocate for your needs. As we reach the end of this journey together, exploring the often unspoken emotional landscape of living with lupus, I want to leave you with a message of hope, resilience, and unwavering self-love. If you've resonated with the experiences shared, if you've shed tears of recognition, if you've felt seen and heard for perhaps the first time, know that you are not alone. Your pain is real, your struggles are valid, and your journey is uniquely yours to navigate. Living with lupus demands an extraordinary amount of strength, both physically and emotionally. You face each day with an invisible warrior within, battling not only the physical symptoms but also the emotional turmoil that often accompanies this chronic illness. You are a beacon of courage, adapting to ever-changing circumstances, advocating for your needs, and educating those around you. Never underestimate the strength it takes to live with lupus, to find joy amidst the challenges, and to embrace life with an open heart, even when it throws curveballs your way. Remember that your worth is not defined by your illness. Lupus does not diminish your value, your passions, or your dreams. It is but one facet of your being, a chapter in your story, but it does not define the entire narrative. You are so much more than your diagnosis, a vibrant individual with unique gifts, talents, and a spirit that shines brightly, even in the darkest of times. One of the most powerful weapons in your arsenal against the emotional toll of lupus is the unwavering support of a community that understands. From online forums and support groups to local chapters of the Lupus Foundation of America, there are countless resources available to connect you with others who get it, who can offer a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, or a virtual high five when you need it most. Remember that you don't have to navigate this journey alone. Reach out to others, share your experiences, and find solace in knowing that you are part of a community that understands the unique challenges and triumphs of living with lupus. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists specializing in chronic illness can provide invaluable support, helping you develop coping mechanisms, navigate difficult emotions, and build resilience in the face of adversity. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It's about prioritizing your mental health and well-being, just as you would your physical health. Living with lupus is a journey, one filled with both challenges and triumphs. Embrace the good days, navigate the tough ones with grace, and never stop advocating for yourself. You are stronger than you know, more resilient than you can imagine, and infinitely worthy of love, support, and understanding. Remember, you are not alone. We are in this together. And together we will continue to raise awareness, fight for a cure, and support one another every step of the way.